everybody, it's time to Dish with D. That's me, thanking on this video. It is Monday, October 13th. It is time for my weekly weigh-in and the Weight Watchers weekly meeting topic for this week. So what's the topic? Well, the October theme is prepare your playbook. I kind of like that, prepare your playbook. It's because like we need a game plan. You know, we need a game plan. If you've had a weight issue as long as I have, you need a playbook. You need a plan. You need something. You know, I've winged it many times and never saw success. So having a playbook is crucial in my opinion. Build a game plan and pick the play that will deliver wins all month and season. Because we're getting into the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We're heading that way. And are any of you afraid? I know it's hard when that food is out there. So yeah, for me, it's mostly the Christmas cookies. The Halloween candy, I'm going to be honest, we don't do Halloween candy anymore. We go out on Halloween. And that's not a bad thing, you know? I thought we've done our time on there. So I don't have the Halloween candy around. And if we should, I always tell Steve to buy non-chocolate things like Starburst and Skittles and things I don't like. It's helpful not to have that around, I'll be honest, but those Hershey bars are sitting there. What is my other Reese's peanut butter cups? I'm not responsible. I'm irresponsible. It's hard. It's so much easier when they're there than when they're not there. Like if it's not there, you can't eat it. That's my leader used to say. Just say no to yourself at the store, so you don't have to say no to yourself 18 times a day at home. So yeah, if there's something that's really, really, and especially those little, fun size ones, because we say, well, they're not that big. Which they're not. But when you eat 3 or 4 of them, they're a big size bar. If you can handle one, then by all means, you should. I mean, if you have that good self-control. Now, I have good self-control when it comes to like bags of things. For some reason, little candies, not so much. But little bags of chips and like puff corns and yeah, I could open one bag and be done with it, but candy, I know. I've not licked the chocolate yet. Maybe I never will. I now know who you are. All right, this week's topic makes a morning routine. Rise and shine and get ahead of the game by crafting a morning routine that propels you forward. I didn't give my way in, did I? No, I did not. I was down 0.2. Which to me is a maintain, and I'm perfectly happy with maintaining because we're into that maintaining. I'm trying to like level out, get a game plan, but not, we don't want to gain. We just want to like kind of hover with it within this pound. If I can stay within a pound here and a pound, maybe even 2 pounds like Weight Watcher says, I'll be happy. So we're just trying to zen ourselves a little bit. All right, this week's a technique. Did I just say that? I did. Build a morning routine, which is crucial because if you start the day out successful, that should snowball into the rest of the day success. Now, I know a lot of people say, I'm good up until after dinner, and that's when I blow it. Well, I guess my advice to you would be plan something then. If you're, I am not a late night snacker because of my gallbladder many years ago. And it becomes a habit. When you break the habit, you don't desire it anymore. So, there's an occasional, I do have a snack. I would say, not usually. Maybe once every other week I might have a snack. It's very rare anymore. Maybe if Steve's making popcorn, I might have to indulge. But for the most part, he brings in the nuts. I might have a little, quarter cup. But for the most part, I don't. But if that is something that you cannot live without, then you should plan that ahead. Like, again, make a game plan. It's even in the morning, like a morning routine is planning your day. Like, I know I'm going to have this and this, so put that in your tracker ahead of time. If you know what you're making for dinner, if you've packed a lunch, track it in the morning so you know what you have to play with the rest of the day. It's all about we have that routine where we get up, we head to the bathroom, we brush our teeth, we wash our face. That is a routine. So what could you do in your morning routine to help set you up for success for the rest of the day? Some people would say, plan your day, track your day, prep something for your day. There's always something you can do You know, some people just love to stretch. There's nothing better, I've found, than stretching. And there are videos out there on YouTube for it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like if you know, oh, I don't have any idea what you mean by stretching or how do you stretch, my gosh, it's just, it feels so good to, I think I talked about this recently too. When you stretch all the way out to the tips of your fingers, it just feels so good. It does. It really does. And it's simple. I think we all can do it. You know, you all could, it's a chair exercise stretching. So I highly recommend stretching. Okay, building a morning routine. This technique will help you build a morning routine that prioritizes your goals and helps you set up the rest of the day. I just said that. I didn't read that. There you go. Prioritizes. We have to prioritize our own goals. Nobody's going to do it for us. We have to do that. So you have to think what goals you want for that day. You know, getting your walking in, getting your water in, getting the correct food in, getting the right, you know, the right amounts of food and the correct food. Do you have that? Is that your day to go to the store to pick out the things you need for the week? I mean, certain days, you know, you have certain jobs. So they just want you to prioritize, like, make the most of your morning. And some people, you know, well, I was looking for something. Here it is. They have jobs. So they get up and they have to do this and then go to work and prioritize work. So even though you stay at home, that doesn't mean you also need to have a morning routine. You know, it's usually making sure for me, my morning routine has changed since the dog is no longer here, but that was my priority. Get up, get myself together, get him out and get him fed and taken care of, and then I can work on myself. Now, I just have to do myself, and it's not as exciting as it was when I was taking care of him. But, you know, there's always things you do. Like, I have a morning routine of what I want to film that day and what I want to make for dinner that day and what I'm going to have for lunch and what do I feel like for breakfast. Now, sometimes I will plan the night before for breakfast because sometimes I'm half asleep in the morning and I'm like, what could make my morning easier? Plan breakfast the night before. I think about what I want, what I have on hand, what could I make with that? What could I do differently with that? Like, just because you have eggs and bacon, like, do you always have to have scrambled eggs and bacon? Like, what could I do differently with that? What could I make? You know, could I bake it? Make like a little like souffle or a little frittata situation instead of just having scrambled eggs and bacon? Oh, I have some spinach. I can make a little, you know, spinach and bacon frittata. You know, just add some cheese once in a while. Like, let's go crazy and put some cheese in there. And you don't have to do it every day, but once in a while, it's nothing wrong with that. It is keeping food fresh. And, you know, I'm struggling with breakfast, as we know, and this is why, because I've constantly, and I never made myself eat those foods. I wanted them, but I just don't want them anymore. So I'm struggling with just finding different things that spark my, like, ooh, like, what do I want to do with that? And throwing pumpkin puree in my hash last week was interesting. I didn't hate it. It was different. It was like kind of having that harvest hash where you would have the butternut squash in there. It was tasty. It was different. I enjoyed it, you know, and I'm just trying to like do different things. Like, instead of having a sausage, maybe chop it up, have it whole, make a sandwich, you know, with the English muffins, and, you know, maybe put some different kind of cheese. Instead of always using the Laughing Cow, use a piece of provolone. Like, just a little thing that's a little bit different. You're going to pay 3 points for that provolone cheese, Diddies. I know I am, but you know what? Sometimes it's worth it to give variety. And I think we sometimes, me specifically, get so like, well, I want to get this for 1 point where I want a little bit of different things. I tell you should get different flavor Laughing Cow cheeses. That they need to sell a 3-pack of different ones, like one Asiago, you know, one, you know, jalapeno or something, and one plain. That would be fun. Like, give me variety. I'm not a huge fan of the pumpkin one. It's okay. I don't hate it. It's just not, I don't think I'd buy it again. No, I don't think I'd buy it again. I don't think it was good enough for me to buy again. I will just sprinkle pumpkin pie spice on the regular one and be done with it. It was okay. Oh my gosh. You'll see in the vlog on Wednesday that I made a little individual pumpkin pie, because I was looking all around the interweb, Pinterest, for individual pie. Well, they had them, but they had them where you're making 4. I only wanted 1. I didn't want 4. I didn't have enough pumpkin for 4. So I've been looking, couldn't find it. I don't know if it doesn't exist or I just couldn't find it. So I went and I looked at the ingredients and I kind of thought, well, what do I have? And what could I, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I made one, and it was successful, and it was delicious, and it was exactly what I wanted. And I was like, I can do this. It's already on dishrooty.com. If you want a heads up, I wrote the recipe in there. It was yummy. It was crustless, of course. Now my boys hate when I do that. They're like, Mom, the crust is the best part. I mean, I didn't have anything to make a crust, honestly, but you could put a crust in there. But what do you want to add to your morning routine to change about your morning? Like, they want you to look at food, activity, and mindset. What is the routine you could, must-dos for food, activity, and mindset? Some people, it's like you have to think. I also try to think every morning is, today's a new day. If I had a bad day or a bad meal, it's never a bad day. It's usually just a bad meal. I'm like, okay, I had a little too much to eat here. I'm going to really rein it in today and stick to my plan. And usually I do. I mean, there's the occasional where you just eat a little bit too much. It happens. You know what? We're all human. We're all not perfect. We're all not going to eating, what we should eat all the time. Sometimes we stray. As long as we don't keep straying, that's the plan. So it's always prioritizing. We have to prioritize ourselves. And I know we don't do that a lot. And we say this all the time. It's like, give yourself that morning when maybe there's nobody bothering you. And get your mind focused. Get your activity plan that you want to do. And, get your food that you want. Like, kind of think, give it a little, headspace and kind of like, just kind of put it together in your head and then see what you have and then see what you can do. And it's always like, give yourself a little self-care in the morning too. Like, there's nothing better than a good face wash. Oh God, a little skincare in the morning. Wash your face, put that beautiful moisturizing skincare. I love that's my favorite part of the day. Is just like it feels so good to take care of yourself, and make sure there's nobody knocking on the bathroom door. Like, this is my 5 minutes of fame here. Let me just do it. And that to me is just pleasurable, is to just put some, it doesn't sound good, but it is. Just put some skincare on. It feels so good. It really does. It sets me up for a good day, and when you feel like you look good, you look in the mirror and you go, wow, I look healthy. Like, I look plump. I look fresh. It just makes you feel good about yourself. And then when you feel good about yourself, you make good decisions. When you feel bad about yourself, you don't make good decisions. You feel sorry for yourself and you think food is going to be that comfort that it is momentarily, and then it's not. And then you feel guilty about it, then you feel bad, and then sometimes you eat more because you did this. It's a cycle. I've been in that cycle. I have. I know for which I speak. So I just want you to take time in the morning to set yourself up to have a good day. Some people like affirmations. I'm not an affirmation person, but there's people that love affirmations. Do affirmations. Do what you need to do. Some people like to journal. Journal your first thoughts in the morning. Me, I'm always thinking of the next recipe I want to make. That's just me, and that makes me happy. So whatever makes you happy is what you should do, and just take that time for you. I'm saying, like, nobody's going to help you. Unfortunately, there isn't anybody that's going to help you. You have to help yourself. So if you give yourself a few minutes in the morning just to get centered to what you need to do and think and write it down maybe, or put it in your tracker maybe, put it in there. It might not go all as planned, but you have a plan, a slight plan, an outline of a plan. That's all you need. Something as an outline to guide you through the rest of the day. Because if you have something you can fall back on, if you sometimes for me, my memory comes and goes, and there's things like, oh, what was I going to do? Oh, let me look. Oh, I'm going to do that. Because sometimes I put a lot in my notes in my phone, because I have my iPad upstairs. I put it in there, and it puts it in my phone, which I love my Apple products that they talk to each other. So if it's in notes there, it's in notes everywhere, on my MacBook, on my iPad, on my phone. So I write myself a note, and there it is. That's how I have to go through these notes and delete some, because there's some of them that are like old. But there they are. There's my things that I want to do. I want to try anyway. I mean, we try. That's all we can do. We could just try. So let me know what your food, activity, and mindset morning routine is. Like I said, if you start out with a good facial in the morning, it just makes, and then when I do the scrub, it's even better. I can't keep talking, because I love taking care of my face. And you should love taking care of your face too, because nobody else is going to take care of it. Your husband going to be wiping your face now? Your kids? Nope. You take care of you, girl. All right? So that is it for me today. So let me know how your week went. Was it good? Was it bad? What did you do right this week? Because we all do things right, but we always focus on what we do wrong. Show up. That's all you can do for yourself. Show up or blow up is what my leader used to say. If you don't show up, you'll blow up. And she's right. You know, there's many people that come week after week and are just maintaining it. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you could go totally the opposite way. And we all know that because we've all been there. We've all gained some weight back. We have. So that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you were new here, welcome. If you're not, hit that subscribe button. Join us for Dish with D, where we just talk like friends. So if you want to be my friend, hit that subscribe button. Comment below. Let me know you're new. Let me know. Say hi. I would love to hear from anyone that's never made a comment. Make a comment. Say hello. I'd love to meet you. And that is it. I will see you on Wednesday's vlog for that pumpkin pie single serve. And it's baked in a ramekin. I didn't even microwave it. I even went out of my way to, I'm thinking, I'm going to bake this because you know what? It's special. It's a pie. It was delicious. I know you might not like pumpkin pie, and I totally get it, but your girl here is a pumpkin queen, so I love me pumpkin. So I will see you on Wednesday's vlog. Have a great rest of your week. It's only Monday. We got a lot of rain here. Lots of rain. We got a nor'easter coming up the coast. So we were heading down. We were supposed to go yesterday, but with all the rain, we decided to stay home. So we're leaving today. We'll see how that goes. So wish me luck, and I will see you on Wednesday's vlog. Bye-bye, my lovelies.